Welcome back to Ops on Cloud. In this specific video, let's try to explore built-in functions in GitHub Actions. Along with that, let's try to explore status functions as well in GitHub Actions. Okay, first thing first, why are these built-in functions useful? Well, GitHub Action provides a handy way to set it's like out of the box functionality where we can manipulate data. We can check conditions and we can control when our jobs or steps run. Okay, that is why functions comes into picture in GitHub Actions. We have two different categories. One is general purpose functions and the other one is status checks functions. General purpose functions, you can think them as tools for data manipulations. So for example, let's assume you want to check substrings, you want to convert into JSON. All these things can be done in status text functions. These you can use mainly for the workflow execution based on criteria like success, failure, cancellation. All these things are there. Okay, in general purpose functions, right, we have multiple options with GitHub Actions as provided. So contains, starts with, ends with, from JSON and to JSON. These are some of the things which we use very frequently. So contains means if you want to check an argument, okay, inside another. Okay, that is where you use contains. So let's assume you want to know if you are running a pull request pipeline or an issue, okay, and you want to check based on a specific condition or a specific label is there inside a specific condition, right? So at such kind of scenarios you can go and use contains. Similarly, you can go with starts with and ends with. Starts with and ends with will check whether a string starts or ends with a particular substring. Okay, so when you have multiple branches, for example, feature branch, hotfix branch, all those things are there, right? Based on these branches, if you want to route the workflows, that is where they come into picture. And then you have from JSON and to JSON. So they help us to convert the JSON. Basically, if you have a string and if you want to convert them into a string, that is where from JSON and to JSON comes into picture. So converting them to JSON and back to the string, all these things can be done with them. Okay, let's assume you have environment variables that you are storing it as build configuration in JSON format. So we can use from JSON to access these fields as objects or arrays within our pipeline. And similarly, you have other functions like join, hash files, all these things are there. Okay, the next step is status text functions. In status text functions, basically we have success, failure, always cancelled. Okay, success means it will return true if all previous steps are pass. Okay, or it is success. And failure means if it is failed, then it will return true. And always means it will return true irrespective of whether a step or a job has failed or passed. And cancelled in the sense when somebody is manually cancelling, it will trigger the cancel notification. So that way it will return it as true. So for example, let's assume you you want to run the deployment steps only if all the previous steps are passed, then you can use success. And also let's assume you want to send a notification if any specific job or step has failed, then you can use failure. And always means that you have cleanup job or something like that, then you can use always irrespective of whether it is pass or fail. Cancelled in the sense, let's assume you have an integration test suite that is taking a lot of time to run, and in between you have manually cancelled it. And once you cancelled it, you don't want the next steps or the block to keep running, right? So to save some resources, you can add that cancellation as a cancelled as a for the validation, and then you can simply stop them from executing. All these things can be done with the help of these things. So we can also go and explore the GitHub's official documentation. So even here, right, if you come and check, you can go through all these things, operators, all these things. It will be really useful. And if you quickly scroll down, you will be able to see here contains, starts with, ends with. These are the syntaxes of using them. And you also have format, join, to JSON, from JSON. Okay, all these things are there. And hash files. This is also something which we use in many scenarios. And then you have status text functions. Here you have success, always, cancelled. Yeah, do you see? I mean, like, this is how basically we give the write the syntax. Okay, so and also you have object filters. All these things are present. Okay, so this is a quick, I mean, like, discussion about what functions are, all these things. So now what we will do is let's quickly jump for a hands-on practical session so that we'll get a much good understanding of what and how to use these functions. Okay. Right. Let's try to dig deeper with respect to functions. Okay. So for now, let's try to create a workflow name. Uh, I'll keep it like using functions, using function. All right. And then let it trigger on two different events. One is pull request and the other one is workflow dispatch event. All right. And then later, let to go jobs. Under jobs, let's try to name this job as echo1 or something like that. Okay. And then this should run on Ubuntu latest. Okay. And then what else is there? Then we will have to create steps. Under these steps, the first one is, let me try to, because there are some manual events that we'll have to test it in between. So I will make sure that this workflow will sleep for like 10 seconds or something. Okay. Name and sleep for 10 seconds. Okay. And for that, there is a command. So run and it should sleep for 10 seconds. Sleep for 10 seconds. Okay. And once this is done, what is the next step? Next step is we will try to use multiple functions within GitHub Actions. Okay. Let's try to create a failing step and then try to create a success steps and also uh, a step which will execute if it is a failure, all those things. Okay. So for now, to create a failing steps, hyphen name failing step. All right. And then what else is there? So we'll have to enforce this. How do we enforce this? We need to use exit code for that. So for that, run exit exit one. All right. And then um, let's try to add a step for skipped. Okay. Name name. So one is failing and the other one is skipped. Skipped. And then what else is there? Under skipped, we will have to use the function. So if it is success, okay, we should tell on what condition we are supposed to fix the skip this one. If okay, if this is successful, okay, then we will skip it. All right, that is one thing. Run echo. All right, and then what else is there? So we are checking the skipped state, and now let's try to check failure. Okay, name Okay, for that we will have to add a condition. If it is failure, only then you execute this. Okay, dollar failure, failure. Okay, and then we can run um, echo previous. Yes. All right, and then what else is there? uh, we should also check if the workflow is cancelled or not cancelled. Okay, that is also let me try to add something for that. So the name. Okay, what if somebody is cancelling this workflow? If it is let's try to test two conditions. One is negation. All right, so will execute. Okay, for that, if dollar, okay, dollar now not cancelled. All right, so negation scenario. So now what am I supposed to do? So it will print basically if it is not cancelled, print if it is not cancelled. Run go print if it is not. Okay, and then uh, okay, this is done. Then what is it necessary? Hyphen name dollar uh, sorry, this, when cancelled. If dollar cancelled. Okay, run echo cancelled. Okay, I dot hyphen m test function get push. All right, let's try to test it out quickly. Okay, actions using functions. Alright, so now let's try to test our workflow using functions, run workflow. Right, this workflow should be triggered. So we have added an explicit wait of 10 seconds. Yeah, as expected, this specific step. Okay, so the sleep command is not is actually it says it's not found. This itself is failing. I got to know what is the error. It should be like small case. So we have given like capital S, instead we need to make it as small. That's it. But anyway, the expectation was to see a failing step. We are able to see it in this fashion. That's it. Okay. So if you see here, this is a failing step. Okay, and this is getting skipped. All right. You can go and check here. So on what condition we are getting skipped. So if it is success, okay, see here. So I will be skipped. This is also printing, and then if you see here, like you have execute on failure, so this is getting executed, okay, which is as expected. And similarly, you have one more job will execute because this is not cancelled, and this will run only when something is cancelled. All right, let's try to test even that one as well. So for that, let's go back to actions again. Come on, user functions, and then run workflow. Perfect. Go back to actions. Then you have this action, cancel workflow. Okay, yeah. So we have cancelled this specific workflow. Let's try to go and check. Yeah. So this is getting executed. When it is not cancelled, print if it is not cancelled. And yeah, I'm not sure if it is getting executed properly because of this sleep. Let's try to fix it and let's try to test again. Alright. Alright. Let us try to test it out. Come on. Go back to actions, functions, run workflow, run. And also let's make sure that we are pushing under main branch. Yes. So yeah. Yes. So this is failing here. Execute on failure. Yeah. This is getting executed. Will executed. Print if it is not cancelled. Yes. And this should print when cancelled. Perfect. Everything is perfect here. And now let's try to do some changes, which is testing this part, the last one, which is when cancelled. All right. So for that, I guess we'll have to be little quick. Maybe come here. Run workflows. Done. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Actions. Cancel workflow. Just give me just 2 seconds. Cancel workflow. Yeah. So yeah, this is cancelled. Yes, when cancelled. Perfect. Do you see? So this one has triggered because it has been triggered because we have cancelled it. So now what we will do is let's try to remove this exit code, right? Let's try to comment it out. We don't need that. And now we will make it like git add dot git commit hyphen m git push. Alright, yeah. Let's try to test it. Actions. Okay. Run workflow. Run workflow. Perfect. Actions. Let it complete. Let it be green. Yeah. After this, let's try to capture like something different. I mean, like if we raise a pull request, how it works. Let's try to explore on those areas as well. Okay. Do you see? This is getting executed, and we skipped on yeah, this one is also perfect. Everything is working as per our expectation. Okay, so now let's try to go and explore something, I mean like little bit advanced feature. Okay, so what we will do is let's try to see how we can capture some information during the pull request event, all these things. All right, so for that what I will do is we have our steps here. So hyphen name under this, let me try to capture PR title, and then for that run. Okay, echo echo, and then we will have to capture, okay, it is events, github dot event. And what is that event? It is pull request event. Inside that pull request we are supposed to capture title. Perfect. Alright, and then what else is there? Let's try to test something related to, let's assume there is a bug or something. Okay, so you'll have to build or run a specific event or specific job or specific step only if there is any fixes that the developer is giving. Okay, let's try to do even that one as well. For that, hyphen name. See, here we are just trying to capture the basics of a larger tasks that we do. Okay, but these concept you can actually use it in your day-to-day activities, remember. So I'll create something called as bug step. Alright, inside this bug step let's add a condition. If, okay, dollar, okay, the first step is we'll add condition if it is not cancelled. Okay, if the pipeline is not cancelled, you execute, and you also see if the pull request title has any word called as fix, only then you run it. Okay, that's the intention of it. Alright, for that, not cancelled. Why we are using it? To save some time or something, because it's not really necessary. If you are cancelling, we don't have to run these things, right? And then we use contains. Okay, inside contains, what we are supposed to do is the event is github dot event dot pull request, okay, dot title. We got all these things, and if this contains any keyword called as fix, okay, you trigger this. That is what we are trying to say. And then run, uh, like echo fixing a bug. Bug. Perfect. Right? Yeah. Now what we will do is, so good. All right. So here we have a feature branch where inside this repo we'll have to create a feature branch from the main branch first. All right. So for that, what I will do is from this main branch, okay, PR events, okay, and now let us try to go come here, switch branch to PR events. Okay, sorry, I have made it as PT events, my bad. All right, so let's go to the file function.yaml. Let me edit this file. Simply make it as edited. Commit changes. All right, done. And now let's try to raise a PR, pull request. Okay, so compare and create a pull request against main branch, and the pull request title should be fix. Test. Okay, so now let's try to create this pull request. Done deal. Yeah, I have created the pull request. So this should technically run the pull request pipeline. All right. So yeah, do you see here? Fix PR events. Yes, perfect. And here echo fixing a bug, because this was able to check the word called as fix in the PR title. And remaining all steps are as it is. It will wait for 10 seconds and will simply continue. So once it should be like everything should be success. So the previous job, whatever we ran, right? So it should be the similar output what we can expect. All right. So this is how you need to practice. My recommendation is that just play this video once, understand what I am trying to explain, replicate the same thing under your repository. It will be really helpful for you guys. Okay. I hope these practical sessions help you a lot. Thanks for watching.